The 17-year-old accused of fatally stabbing a Texas student athlete during a track meet allegedly admitted to the crime. Now, he also asked officers if his actions could be considered self-defense. That is according to...
It was supposed to be a normal spring afternoon. The kind of day you remember from growing up. The sun warm, the breeze just right, and the sound of sneakers hitting the track as kids raced their hearts out for school, for pride, for fun. But by the time the sun set on March 29th, one child wouldn't go home. Austin Metcalf had dreams, talent, and a future until a fatal encounter ended it all. Now the father of the teen accused in the stabbing is breaking his silence, claiming his son was not the aggressor. Today, we dig deeper into the events of that night, what both families are saying, and the questions still left unanswered. Austin Metcalf was just 17, a junior at Frisco Memorial High School, where he played wide receiver and was known for his leadership on and off the field. Coaches called him a natural, and classmates say he was kind, focused, and full of life. They described Austin as an honor student with a 4.0 GPA and a natural leader. He led his football team and was even voted the team's MVP by his players and coaches. He played inside while his brother played outside. Football was his pride and joy, his father later told the news. Austin's mother reflected on the bright future he would have had. She mentioned how there were college football guys looking at him to play football in college, and that young Austin's dream was to play college football. Austin had the drive of a bull, and many described him as a young man with ambition, drive, and spirit, hard to find in a kid that age. Austin's twin brother, Hunter, spoke up on behalf of his other half. He spoke of their close bond and how he had always looked up to him as if Austin was his older brother, even though they were the same age. "I had a blast my whole life playing sports with him," he added. "It's just really heartbreaking not to see him next year on the field." Hunter claimed that his brother didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve to have his life cut short. He was a good son and an awesome brother with a very bright future ahead of him. The incident occurred on April 2nd, 2025, during what police are calling a physical altercation that escalated rapidly. Details are still emerging, but here's what we know so far. It was supposed to be a normal championship meet between two schools, Centennial High School and Frisco Memorial High School. But things took a turn for the worst when Austin saw that someone else was sitting in his seat and asked the boy to move. And in retaliation, the boy, who was identified as 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin in the heart, right in front of his twin brother. Hunter recounted that Austin was stabbed while he was asking this stranger to leave their school's tent. "I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab," he told WFAA. "It was really senseless. I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument." The 17-year-old was from Frisco High School and was later arrested on a murder charge. All evidence points to Karmelo, but his father takes the stand to protect his son, and he's offering a different version of events. Though Karmelo has been charged with first-degree murder, Anthony said his son's action was a heat-of-the-moment mistake that has brought tragedy to both families. "I feel bad for the other parents and family, and words can't explain how both families have been affected by this tragedy." The father also went ahead stating that his son wasn't one to act out, and that he was not the one who started it, also claiming that his son was a good kid with a 3.7 GPA. His father told the Post his son was a good kid and maintains that he did not start the fight that broke out between the two boys. Karmelo was not the aggressor. He was not the one who started it, he said. "He works 2 jobs. He's an A student, has a 3.7 GPA. Everyone has already made their assumptions about my son, but he's not what they're making him out to be," he added. The suspect, a 17-year-old student from Frisco Centennial High School, was arrested on a murder charge. He was transferred from Frisco City Jail to Collin County Jail on Thursday, with a bond set at $1 million. The victim's family has another story. Hunter claimed that he nor his brother had ever met Anthony prior to the meet. "It really was under 30 seconds, this altercation," Hunter said. "I never met this kid in my life. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless," Hunter recalled. "And my brother stepped in and said, 'You need to move,'" Hunter added. "And Anthony was like, 'Make me move.' All of a sudden, he grabbed his backpack," the brother said. Just seconds into the tussle, Hunter said Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed his brother in the chest. The victim's twin brother held onto his brother and tried to make the bleeding stop, but was forced to watch as the life drained out of his eyes. And as if seeing the lifeless body of his own twin wasn't enough, Hunter had to make a phone call that would alter his parents' life forever. Hunter called his dad, and when Jeff arrived, he was greeted with one of his sons on a gurney, not breathing. "I could see all the blood, and I saw where the wound was, and I was very concerned, so I had to find his brother. And we rushed to the hospital, and we prayed. And it's God's plan. I don't understand it, but they weren't able to save him. This is murder," Jeff Metcalf said. Despite life-saving measures by the police and fire personnel, including CPR and the administration of blood, the 17-year-old was pronounced dead at a local hospital. The grieving father questioned Karmelo's upbringing and his parents as he asked a question we all want to know the answer to. Why on earth would a 17-year-old bring a knife to a track meet? "I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place, and they asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder," Jeff Metcalf said. But despite the tragedy that befell his family, he decided to forgive his son's killer. "You know what? I already forgive this person. Already. God takes care of things. God is going to take care of me. God is going to take care of my family," he added. The tragedy sparked an outpouring of community support as they started a GoFundMe campaign for the grieving family. The campaign has raised $15,000 more than the targeted $20,000. The fundraiser provided additional support to Austin's mother, Megan, and his twin brother, Hunter, during this devastating time. Jeff Metcalf also took to Facebook to express his grief, writing, "As many of you know already, my son Austin was stabbed to death at a school track meet. This tragedy has shaken me, family, and friends to the core. I trust God will bring us through the tough times ahead. I appreciate everyone who has reached out. He passed away in his brother's arms. He wasn't alone, at least. I can't describe the range of emotions I am feeling. I pray God will guide our paths moving forward." Brooke Fesco, the principal of Metcalf's school, sent a letter to the parents of his fellow students saying, "Tomorrow morning, we will acknowledge Austin's death during second period and will offer support throughout the day. District and campus counselors will be available to support your child through the grieving process." The fight only took 30 seconds, but had a result that would impact everyone for a lifetime. As the lights dimmed on the field that evening, a silence settled over the track, one that felt too heavy for a place meant for celebration and competition. Where there should have been victory laps and proud families, there was instead a family in mourning, a twin without his other half, a team without its heart, a future lost. Austin Metcalf was more than a student, more than a football player. He was a brother, a son, a friend, a young man whose presence lit up every room, whose dedication inspired those around him, and whose dreams stretched far beyond the stadium lights. Now his legacy lives on in memories, in stories shared quietly in locker rooms and classrooms, in the moments his absence is most deeply felt. For those who knew him, Austin was not just a name. They remember the way he smiled, the way he led, and the way he loved. And though his story ended too soon, his impact will never fade.